from the Cronkite studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
One day to go, Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton is at a Phoenix high school to rally voters before Election Day.
Republican frontrunner Donald Trump wrapped up a busy weekend in the Valley, full of devout support and passionate protest.
I'm here today to say that America wants to be your partner.
And a historic visit today, President Barack Obama traveled to Cuba, making him the first president to do so since 1928.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Jackie Padilla.
And I'm Jesse Schultz. Thanks for joining us. Just one day until the Arizona presidential preference election, and the Valley is reeling from a calendar packed with candidate visits. Tonight, we continue our Cronkite News team coverage of Democrats and Republicans vying to be the next commander-in-chief. Hillary Clinton is speaking now at Carl T. Hayden High School in Phoenix. Let's listen in.
Call him a friend, not only because of that service he has given, but because of what he's continuing to do. By Gabby's side, speaking out over and over again. And as they both said, like many people in Arizona and many people around our country, they've been gun owners for a long time. And you know what? There's a right in our country to be a gun owner. What we are advocating, what we are standing up for and speaking out for are common sense gun reform measures. And I also want to just recognize a couple that I met just before coming in, Lonnie and Sandy Phillips, who are here. They lost their daughter, Jessie, in the Aurora movie theater massacre. And they've been trying to do what they could to travel around the country and to sue the gun makers and the gun site online where the murderer got all of his ammunition, and nobody asked a question. And they're trying to raise this to a high visibility. I can't imagine the courage that it takes for people like Gabby and Mark and the Phillipses, but I am with them. I'm going to stand with them. I'm going to work with them. I'm going to fight for them.
Hillary Clinton's campaign stop comes a day after her husband, former President Bill Clinton, spoke at Central High School Sunday. The former president applauded his wife's stance on several issues, including gun control, education, clean energy, and immigration. At one point, he even had the crowd laughing at the idea of a wall being built at the U.S.-Mexico border, an idea Donald Trump has been very vocal about.
The places in America which are in trouble because they have lost jobs, lost investment, and we haven't done enough for them. Not because somewhere else, halfway across the country, America is being strengthened by the diversity and youth of our workforce. Hillary wants to keep DACA in place and keep working.
Democratic candidate Bernie Sanders wrapped up a full weekend of events in Arizona. Today, Sanders won the Democrats Abroad presidential primary, 69 to 31%. Sanders received nearly 24,000 votes to Hillary Clinton's 10,600. The votes are from American Democrats living in 170 countries. That marks Sanders' 10th win so far this campaign season. During his visit to Arizona, the Vermont senator addressed immigration and wage gap issues and how building a wall isn't part of his plan, but rather building bridges with other countries.
To the Republican side now, as Donald Trump took the Valley by storm. His campaign events in Phoenix and Fountain Hills attracted a huge crowd of supporters and some protesters. Even before sunrise, as many as 1,200 followers came to the Phoenix Convention Center early Saturday, as well as a handful of protesters. Many attended the town meeting to show their support and the chance to see their candidate in person.
I believe that everything he says he's going to do, he is going to do. And we're fighting so hard. We're both grandmas, each have 7 grandchildren, and we want a bright future for them. And we think Donald Trump is the man to make that happen for our grandkids.
But Trump opponents tried to make their voices stand out as well all weekend long. Reporter Ben Marjat was tracking the action outside the rally in the East Valley.
Protests erupted at Trump rallies across the U.S. this past weekend. Here in Arizona, organizers tried to make sure their message was received by more than just those attending the Republican candidate's rally. A peaceful morning in Fountain Hills quickly turned rowdy.
If you notice, I'm not coming here yelling at you.
But the people making the most noise were actually miles away from Republican frontrunner Donald Trump's weekend rally. A small group of anti-Trump protesters literally shut down Shea Boulevard, the main route into Fountain Hills, for around 3 hours by parking their cars across all 3 lanes and backing up traffic for miles. Forcing some to have to walk a few miles to get to the rally and preventing others from just getting home.
I understand some of these people's concerns, but when you're infringing on my constitutional right to move about my country freely.
When the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office started towing cars, Trump supporters applauded. But protesters dug their heels in. Jacinta Gonzalez actually locked herself to a van. The final tally from the hours-long effort, 3 arrested and at least 6 cars towed. Trump, who was running late because of an early morning event in downtown Phoenix, was not delayed by the protesters. While 2 of the people arrested were released that same night, Gonzalez was reportedly handed over to federal immigration agents, according to Mi Gente's website. In the broadcast center, Ben Marjat, Cronkite News.
Trump is using immigration and the border wall to win Arizona voters. As Cronkite News reporter Mauricio Casillas shows us, that message had strong appeal for followers at his rally.
During his nearly half-hour speech in Fountain Hills, the Republican presidential frontrunner was loud and clear with his message.
You are going to be so proud of your family, yourself, your president, and your country. We are going to win again all the time.
Donald Trump's high-profile Arizona supporters, former Governor Jan Brewer and Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio, were by his side.
Paid for that wall.
Several thousands of supporters attended the rally to hear him speak one last time before the state's primary.
I was really happy. I mean, you could see the crowd is just, makes me, maybe America has a chance.
And many of Trump's Arizona supporters are backing him because of his staunch stance on illegal immigration.
I think it's hurting Arizona, especially since we're so close to the border.
Trump's biggest applause during the rally came when he mentioned building a border wall. It's a message that resonates with a lot of people here in Arizona, but critics still say that it's not a feasible plan.
And unless you have a border, you don't have a country, folks. You don't have a country.
It breaks my heart. It seems so un-American, and yet I know so many people want it.
At the start of his speech, protesters arrived and started chanting.
Dump Trump, booing him, si se puede.
Despite the fact that illegal immigration from Mexico is at an all-time low, it still remains a divisive issue here in Arizona.
We're being invaded here. It's like our government is a government from another country or something.
Trump's border plan is expected to lead to an increase in voter turnout for the Arizona primary. In Fountain Hills, I'm Mauricio Casillas, Cronkite News.
Donald Trump's closest rival and some say biggest competition, Ted Cruz, held a rally at Arizona Christian University Friday night. Along with jabs at his opponents, Cruz also spoke on his campaign key points. However, the presidential main focus of the rally seemed to be immigration.
Senator Ted Cruz spoke to a cheering crowd of Arizona supporters this weekend.
He's a man of conviction. You can trust him. I'm emotional. He's the complete opposite of Donald Trump.
Cruz is trailing Donald Trump in the polls both here in Arizona and nationally. But he says Marco Rubio dropping out of the race will be good for him and not so good for Trump.
And that's a real problem for Donald because the overwhelming majority of those Rubio supporters have come and are supporting us.
We may not see the impact of Rubio dropping out in tomorrow's Arizona primary because of early voting, where Rubio is on the ballot. And some say that could hurt Cruz's chances of taking Arizona.
The early voting will be very, very difficult for Ted Cruz because his vote will be so divided, and he'll have to win overwhelmingly.
Cruz says he made a visit to the U.S.-Mexico border in Douglas, Arizona, and was unimpressed.
The border fence, what little fence there, is so dilapidated, is so ineffectual. My 5-year-old, Catherine, could climb that fence in about 3 seconds flat.
A candidate's stance on immigration is an important factor for many Arizona voters.
Well, I wouldn't be supporting Ted Cruz if I didn't support his stance on immigration.
Because he, as an immigrant himself, knows what's like. And the other guys really don't understand that part.
Ted Cruz urged supporters to not only vote for him, but to spread his message. In Phoenix, Sydney Glenn, Cronkite News.
Now the focus shifts from candidates to the voters, but not all Arizonans registered to vote will have a voice in tomorrow's election. Ben Brown joins us with the details.
What was supposed to be a news conference addressing early ballot voting in Arizona quickly turned into a heated discussion here at the Maricopa County Elections Office.
Let's be very clear. I'm not advocating for a caucus system. I'm advocating for the taxpayers to not have to pony up $10 million when everyone can't participate.
And that's been the point of contention for months now. Independent voters and the right to have a say in the presidential preference election.
I cannot find in myself a conservative argument why we say everyone's going to pay for something, but yet we're going to bar 1/3 of our voters from participating in it.
Arizona has a closed primary system, which means only voters registered with a participating political party, such as Democrat, Republican, or Green, can vote.
Well, I think it's unfair that we have these people who can't vote in an election. They're registered voters.
Helen Purcell, the Maricopa County Recorder, and Reagan both support House Bill 2567, which suggests that each party pay for their own presidential preference election, and in turn can decide whether to allow independents to vote.
This isn't some, crazy Republican idea. This is a bipartisan idea.
Even so, Maricopa County elections workers still expect a large voter turnout.
With the excitement and the interest that we have seen in this election, I'm anticipating that we will have in Maricopa between 60 and 65% turnout.
Republican and Democrat voters can head to 60 polling stations across Maricopa County to cast their ballot. Republican and Democrat voters can head to 60 polling stations across Maricopa County to cast their ballot. In downtown Phoenix, Ben Brown, Cronkite News.
Cronkite News will have extensive team coverage of the presidential preference election tomorrow. After our regular 5 o'clock newscast, we'll continue tracking the results and bring you a live special edition of Cronkite News at 11 p.m. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. recognizes who served and sacrificed their lives in the Vietnam War. But now you don't have to travel across the country to see it.
Coming up on Cronkite News, where a replica memorial was built and how it relates to Arizona locals.
President Barack Obama began his historic visit to Cuba today and plans to stay 2 more days on the island. What was said in the meeting with President Raul Castro and why this visit is important.
For only the 3rd time in the award's 74-year history, a Phoenix-based news operation wins the prestigious Alfred I. DuPont Columbia Award for Excellence in Broadcast Journalism. And this year, that news operation is Cronkite News, the news division of Arizona PBS, honored for its work on the groundbreaking documentary, Hooked, Tracking Heroin's Hold on Arizona. Cronkite News at Arizona PBS, award-winning journalism you can count on from the station you trust.
History was made this afternoon as a sitting U.S. president visited Cuba for the first time since Calvin Coolidge was in the White House 88 years ago. President Obama met with Cuba's President Raul Castro to discuss lifting the embargo between the two countries. Obama is using the trip as an opportunity to advance relationships with Cuba and start lifting the embargo. Castro says he recognizes that Obama wants the blockade lifted entirely, but Congress has refused.
The embargo is going to end. When? I can't be entirely sure, but I believe it will end, and the path that we're on will continue beyond my administration.
Arizona Senator Jeff Flake also joined the president in this historic visit.
A coalition of liberal groups staged rallies around the country today, urging Republican senators to do their job. More than 50 events target the Republican senators who oppose confirmation hearings for President Obama's Supreme Court nominee, Merrick Garland. The events took place outside the senators' home offices, where protesters offered to enroll lawmakers in a community college civics course.
The Vietnam Veteran Memorial in Washington, D.C. is no longer exclusive. In fact, a replica is being built here in Arizona. Cronkite News reporter Kendall Bartley attended the groundbreaking ceremony in Gilbert over the weekend, where the wall is being built.
Flags flow while trumpets play, all to honor soldiers lost in Vietnam. This Saturday, more than 500 people attended the ceremony put on by the nonprofit organization Operation Welcome Home Arizona. Vietnam veteran Fred Maribel dressed to pay tribute to the Civil War. He has been to the Washington Memorial before and came to show his support for this $3 million project in his home state.
I see a lot of my friends on there, and it takes a lot to be able to talk about them and being in that combat and still being here, and a lot of my friends are gone.
This replica is going to be almost as large as the memorial in Washington and will pay tribute to all of those killed in the war. By Veterans Day of 2017, the wall is going to be built and this dirt is going to be gone. The Gilbert Fire Department recently owned the land for the park, and funding was raised by Operation Welcome Home Arizona. Local veterans are happy to see a memorial so close to home.
A lot of our veterans aren't able to get to Washington, D.C. And as far as coming out here, whether they're in the West Coast, the Midwest, I think it'll be a lot easier for most veterans to get out here and see the wall.
The wall won't be the only monument represented in Welcome Home Veterans Park. It will also include an educational center, a battle cross representing all lost soldiers, a map of South Vietnam, and other veterans services.
This is a great inspirational thing that is being done.
In Gilbert, I'm Kendall Bartley, Cronkite News.
Medical students at the University of Arizona held their breath Friday as they opened letters that decided their future on what is known as Match Day.
Coming up on Cronkite News, what Match Day means and how it affects students and the state.
Tempe residents gathered over the weekend to learn how the city plans to become the first dementia-friendly city in Arizona. Hear those plans and what you can do to help.
In the middle of rather a drama.
I've been thinking about the circumstances of the crime and the nature of love.
It's romantic, is it? Isn't it?
Seems to me as if the answer is right in front of you.
I'm a high-functioning sociopath.
You are being irrational.
Need to go.
Will you do a blood test?
No.
You want to hit me now?
That makes me a wicked woman, sister.
Will the prisoner rise?
There is only one thing I would like.
Hey.
Sex?
Heartbreak.
Or love? Oh, yummy. Stop it!
Papa? Is everything all right in there?
This is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
The city of Tempe is working towards being the first dementia-friendly city in Arizona, according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Experts say there's about 5 million people living with Alzheimer's, and that the number is most likely to rise. Cronkite News reporter Lauren Michaels takes a look at what the city of Tempe is proposing to do.
In Tempe, there are about 1,500 people who have dementia. That's according to Mayor Mark Mitchell, who held a forum over the weekend to make Tempe dementia-friendly. Inspired by his own mother, who was diagnosed with the disease, opened his eyes to the importance of educating the community.
For us together, I can't imagine not being with him.
Sarah and Don Walker have been married for 60 years.
Oh my goodness. Hundreds of years. Hundreds of years.
But 7 years ago, Sarah Walker was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, yet that hasn't changed their love for each other.
As we do our walking, we're always holding hands, and we will attract attention frequently about people that say, "Do you do that always?" Yeah, we do.
If I don't go with him, I just sit there all the time, but I usually go with him, and it's good.
And on this day's agenda, they attended a Tempe forum on the city's first efforts to be recognized as dementia-friendly as part of a national movement.
The goal of dementia-friendly movement is really to prove that we are a community and that we are not powerless as a community.
Banner Health experts say there's about 120,000 people in Arizona with dementia, about 5 million in the U.S., and that number is expected to increase to 15 million by 2050.
So it's really about building awareness and building programs and support systems around affected people and their families.
The city of Tempe will be working with the Banner Alzheimer's Institute, hoping to create a plan that could include new signs on restrooms or a one-stop shop for all dementia-related resources. Although it may take time, Don Walker is among many who are happy for the effort.
We're here to contribute what we can to the next generation, and hopefully the Banner Alzheimer's does what it says, is try to keep the next generation, save the next generation.
A doctor from Banner Alzheimer's Institute also said that 50% of people with dementia never receive a diagnosis. The key is to get early checkups to catch the disease in its earliest stage. In the broadcast center, Lauren Michaels, Cronkite News.
After more than 8 years of schooling, University of Arizona med students have made it to the moment they've worked so hard for.
Coming up on Cronkite News, what happens now for these medical students and the impacts match day has on the state.
We are here tonight to explore tough issues.
You've got to have people around you who aren't just laying rose petals in front of your way.
And I kid you not, this is true.
Trust is everything.
This has been so much fun.
It's about reaching people.
There are more players on the world stage. The issues are more complex.
We ask the questions that take us closer to the truth.
What happened and what might happen.
Because that's what we do.
Would you like doing something like I do?
I couldn't do this. I'm not qualified.
I was thinking exactly the same thing.
Hi, I'm Charlie Rose. As part of the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication at ASU, Arizona PBS is providing a state-of-the-art venue for the next generation of journalists. From newsrooms in Washington, Los Angeles, and here in Phoenix, students engage in real-time, real-world news reporting, broadcast production, and online innovation. The Cronkite School and Arizona PBS working together in new ways to bridge the classroom to the community in the digital age.
For students in medical schools across the country, Friday was the most important day of their young careers. Reporter Blake Bernard shows us the emotion of the day and the impact it has on healthcare in Arizona.
For James McKenzie, 8 years of education came down to one moment.
It's pretty surreal, actually.
On Friday, 66 graduating University of Arizona medical students opened long-awaited letters that determined their future in the field of medicine.
Until you see it written on paper, you can't
imagine the emotion. I told myself I wasn't going to cry, but I cried like a baby.
This is match day, where thousands of med students across the country receive residency acceptance letters, and many U of A students are staying in Arizona.
It is definitely a big goal to stay in Arizona, and lots of our students are.
24 U of A students will transition to places like St. Joseph's Hospital and Medical Center, Mayo Clinic Hospital, and Phoenix Children's Hospital. Still, some had no choice but to leave the Valley.
We're obviously limited by the number of spots. There are more students going into more specialties than we have in Arizona. And I think there were 6 emergency medicine students this year, and we couldn't all stay in Arizona.
Moss and her family will move to Nashville to study emergency medicine at Vanderbilt University, but they may not be gone for good.
We definitely plan to come back home, so we get to spend 3 years pursuing our dreams and then come back home to our family and friends in Arizona.
That dream won't be easy.
I think the next 3 years is going to be a lot of hard work, a lot of long hours in the hospital, but it's going to be really great.
In Phoenix, Blake Bernard, Cronkite News.
The University of Arizona has a perfect match rate through 6 graduating classes at the downtown Phoenix campus.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's coming up on Arizona Horizon and PBS NewsHour.
On the next Arizona Horizon, we will hear from the new owner of the East Valley Tribune and the Ahwatukee Foothills News and see about his plans for the papers. And we'll find out how math and science learning skills can be used outside the classroom.
I'm Judy Woodruff. On the next NewsHour, President Obama makes an historic trip to Cuba. What further changes lie ahead for the two countries? That's Monday on the PBS NewsHour.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.